we're going to continue working on line structures that we just introduced. So let's try something a little bit more complicated. So this time, your molecular formula is C4H10. And now I'm going to draw different combinations, ways in which the atoms can connect, right? So let's do this straight first. So I have my 4 carbons. And what I'm doing here is showing you Lewis structures, and you know how to do that already, right? So I have that. That's one way we can connect the atoms. No, but I can do something else. I can do this now. I have my 4 carbons, and then I'm going to complete all the bonds. And like so. And if you count, the 2 molecules have 4 carbons and 10 hydrogens. So those molecules are actually share the same molecular formula, but they have different connectivity. Different connectivity means the atoms are connected in different ways. So those 2 are constitutional isomers. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is draw this using line structure, what we just learned. So first I'm going to group this. That's 1CH3. Here I have 1CH3 again. Here's one, and here's one. So using that, and notice that in the, here I have the CH2 and CH2, right? So I'm making groups. And here, this is different, right? So let's draw the one on the top. And I said that we're not going to draw carbons, and we're not going to draw hydrogens attached to carbons. So just the lines connecting the carbons. And also keep in mind that this right here, this is an alkane. And all of the carbons are sp3 hybridized. So we're going to have 4 single bonds about that. And when we draw alkanes, what we're going to do to keep similar to the tetrahedral shape, we're going to do a zigzag line. So for the first one here, line, another line, another line. So this is 1, 2, 3. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that will be the picture, the line structure of these alkane, which is butane. Okay, so that's it. We don't need to draw anything else because we said we don't draw carbons, we don't draw hydrogens attached to carbon. Now I'm going to draw the others. So I see my line. I'm keeping the zigzag because for sp3 carbons, remember your angle, the bond angle, should be 109.5 angle here. All right, so it should be like that. And keeping the zigzag is not exactly that, but it will be kind of keeping the shape. Now I'm going to do a line with 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3 carbons. That's 3. But 1 carbon in the center is attached to a CH3, and that is this line. So now, to summarize what we have here, this is, oh, yes, we can do something else. So this is your Lewis structures. From the Lewis structure, I can do, for example, for that, since I have my grouping, I can do CH3, and that will be this. Then the central carbon is attached to a C, but also attached to CH3, but it's attached to 2 CH3. See that? 1 and 2 attached to the same central carbon. So this is a parenthesis and a number 2. And that is a condensed molecular formula, right? So here we're showing Lewis, that's a Lewis, those 2 are constitutional isomers, condensed. The condensed here, I'm going to do this a little bit over here. I don't want to erase that yet. So grouping, I am doing CH3, then CH2, CH2, and then CH3 at the end. That is partially condensed. And if I wanted to do the condense, what I can do now I'm going to move this over now to take your room. So this is this. And so I'm now collapsing this too. And I'm going to say CH3. In this too, I am going to put in a parenthesis. So CH2 2 times and a CH3. And that is the condensed formula of butane here. That is butane. So again, just recap, 2 constitutional isomers sharing the same molecular formula. Connectivity is different. Here I am grouping the atoms so that I can draw the partially condensed structure. From the partially condensed, I see what is repeating here, and I put it in the parentheses for the condensed. And in this case, I did exactly that. So I am grouping. This is how I'm grouping. And notice that here I have 2 CH3, so I group them using a parenthesis. Finally, in the line, we only draw the bonds to carbons and not, we don't draw your hydrogens attached to carbons. So these 2 are your line structures. Okay, so that's for now. We keep studying these.